The third part is brainstorming. So we have some basic rules for brainstorming. Deferring judgment, no idea is too crazy. So when you're going to do this in a moment, just let go. Write down whatever's coming to your mind and stick it up. Encouraging those wild ideas is where we really get to this different grade of solution. And build on the ideas of others. So be open, listen to what people are saying, and then come up with and why don't we do this? So some of the language is important. Don't sort of say but use and. Stay focused on the topic, and one conversation at a time. And you've got these whiteboards, so feel free to write and draw diagrams if they make sense.
So one of the things that you have to be fast.
So you saw this briefly before, so this is about this divergent thinking, coming up with as many ideas as you can in the time allowed, and then about 70% of the time, then you start pivoting and coming up and rationalizing those ideas into ones that you think could be fruitful. So first of all, it's important to have a problem statement. So from what you've heard and what you've synthesized, come up with some problem statements that have the right constraints and that make sense. Facilitate the rules of brainstorming, so it's important to have one person talking, as we said, and perhaps signifying someone who will lead the distillation of the thoughts to the room. Make everyone feel heard and a part of it. That's very important. And keep the energy high. So prototyping, the fourth part, that's I think one of my favorite parts of design thinking. So it's doing. On the right-hand side, it's about doing. Left-hand side thinking, prototyping is about doing. And it's a great way to eliminate risk by building some very lo-fi prototypes, and then you can test those out on your user group. So without spending too much time, you're able to get into the iterative loop of testing your ideas without sinking much money or time into them. So why do we prototype? To spot opportunities early and to fail safely, as I mentioned. It's also great to have some kind of representation around to collaborate in your team. Getting stakeholder feedback. We have a stakeholder map on the right-hand side of the room, which you should all look at and was part of the previous workshop, and making sure that when you're testing your prototype, you're talking to each of the important stakeholder groups. Also, counterintuitive insights. Having something physical allows you to turn it on its head and present it in different lights, and it's a great way to look at the problem from different perspectives. And it's a great way to communicate your vision and inspire others. So a few examples of some prototypes that we've used at the D-School. I think you saw the slide with Bami. It's an idea of a medical device where they've used a marker pen connected to a clip, which is a really good way to get the idea of a feel for this new medical tool. They were able to then take that into hospitals just to get doctors' opinions on that solution. And this idea about having people to focus on this common idea, having a prototype is a really good way to build group learning and group understanding of the solution. Here we have a quote. The values of prototypes resides less in the models themselves than the interactions they invite. So again, around synthesizing through interaction with the various stakeholders, new insights, and iterating through, again, the design thinking process. So when you're going back to your users that you've interviewed in the first place, taking a physical representation is very, very powerful.